Okay, on this demo video, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and activate your subscription forms. So you would use this module, subscription forms, for anything that you want to put someone onto your email autoresponder list. So whether that is MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, I'll show you some of the other ones that we integrate with. But you can have anywhere from a very simple form, something a little bit more advanced like this, this typical like banner form. So these will activate with ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, Drip, iContact, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, a whole bundle of them. But I'm going to show you how to set up MailChimp because I'm assuming that the majority of you are going to be using something simple like either MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Drip, or maybe one of the others. So let's jump over to our demo page. I'm going to add a new row. Let's go 3 columns just so I can show you in the middle. I'm going to make this full width, and I'm also going to make the content full width. I'm going to save that. I'm going to make that like that. So as you can see, this bottom box here, this subscription box, is just subscribing to the newsletter. I'll probably get rid of a bit of this space in between the email white box and the text. But just for the sake of the demo, we will just go ahead and I'm going to make a dark background just so it's a little easier for you to see at home. Okay. So go up, add a module, UABB, and it's down with the lead generation stuff, and it is a subscription form. We're just going to plonk there in the middle. This is as it comes out of the box. Again, maybe I'll make the background white after all so you can see. So row settings. So there's a couple of things we need to do. First of all, we need to stylize it and customize it, but also we need to activate this we need to activate this and we need to integrate it into MailChimp. So I went ahead and did this before. I thought I didn't save, but what I'll do is I'm just going to show you the steps. So you'll need your username, log into MailChimp, come along up to account, and then you're going to go to extras and you're going to look for the API key. Okay, nice and simple. Grab this API key. If you haven't created one, you're just going to get a box saying you haven't created one, and it's just going to say create, or you can just come along and create one here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to copy your API key. You're going to jump back into your demo mode. Now, I'm going to say add account. So it's going to give you 2 different fields. You need your API key and then you need your username. Okay, so whether you use your email address as your username or the actual username, maybe a little bit different when you log in. They're the 2 things you need. Once you got those, connect. Okay, gave me an error because it's already added, but that's all you do. That's all you would need to do for this. So I'm going to go back and go to MailChimp, and then it will just give me, so you can have multiple integrated onto your website. So I'll just integrate this one, and then it gives you the option to choose what list you want to put them on, which is extremely important. So if you have different blogs, you might want to put them on different lists. If you're putting them on a waiting list for something, you put them on a different list. So that's where you can select your list. And the rest of it's quite easy. It's just stylizing it. Whether you want to have a header up here, whether you want to have a subheading, whatever, you can take that out. If you want to show first name, or you can just have collecting the email address. So you can, depending on how much information you want, and depending on it depends on your supporters and and traffic, the people who are coming to your website, just how much information they want to give. A bare minimum, email obviously, or next one up is just you get their first name or their name. And you can also have show last name, so you can have up to 3 fields. Conversions usually go down because it's just a little bit too more information to put in. So there's that, and then there's that bottom text. I probably, you could just have another little call for action if you wanted to have people on that list, or you can say, we don't spam lists, or we're only going to email you once a month or once a week. So you can do that. And then the next section is styling. So again, overall alignment, responsive alignment. So that means if you have this alignment to the left, and then on a mobile device, it's on the left as well. Typically, it's a lot easier to fill in a form if it's all centered on a mobile device. So you might want to go back and do that so everything is kind of centered. There's not much point setting stuff to the left or the right on a mobile device because it's so small anyway. You want to keep it in the middle and give that extra space. Padding, background color again if you wanted to blend it in somewhere. Again, padding, you might want to give overall padding, which is just going to give it that little bit of a buffer around there. So whenever you see this little padding box, if you just put the number in there, that's going to do the padding around all 4 sides. If you want to do it individually and say, I just want to give the top a bit of extra padding, you can do that manually. So you can do them all differently. Okay. Opacity would be for the background, layout, stacked or inline. So depending on how you want to do it, inline would be good if you were going ahead and doing a form like this. Input settings, spacing is going to be between the fields. So if we wanted to make this a bit longer, and then have some extra space between the fields, that's how we would do that. Okay, now this is where you get the form style. It only gives you 2 styles, but it's kind of all you need because the rest of it's done with customization of just basically colors. So if you ditched ditched style 1 and went to 2, basically it's just getting rid of that frame and that box, so you can keep it really simple and clean. So this one here is an example of form 2. Name and then subscribe. So it's much more minimalistic. Same with this one here. You just eliminate that box. So completely up to you and what you want to kind of decide to do. And then you're just going to break down text color, border width if you wanted a border width. So if you wanted a border width, that's the border of that input box because that's the input style we're working on. That color, you might want to change the border color. Vertical padding, horizontal padding, again, you can play around with that and just see what adjusts. So that's the actual box itself. The padding, not so much the size. The size would be done under general, I think it is, which no, I guess that's it. Yep, that's it there. Sometimes it just the wording is a little bit different compared to the other box that we worked on earlier. So then you can move along to your button. You can change whatever you'd like that text to say, subscribe, stay in touch. Then when it's processing, just please wait, or we're thinking, or we're doing it, or whatever you want to change that to. Style is the style of the button. So whether you want it transparent, which is going to be like that wireframe. Hover style, so we can, when you hover over it, it's Okay, we may have to publish that, but that's just going to give you, when you hover over the button, whether it's going to fill or whatever you kind of want that to do, fade to the background or fill to a different color. You can put icons on the button. Put a nice little newsletter icon before the text or after the text. And then these are just your colors, text colors, hover text colors. Kind of probably familiar with all that by now. Structure, if you want to make it, control the size a little bit more. Make that button bigger. Make that button wide. 300, nice big subscribe. Okay, and then typography, similar thing, just go along and if you want to change the font size of anything, the heading, this is where you would do it. Sign up for the free course, line height, color of that text. Subheading, we got rid of the subheading, so it's not going to change anything. The bottom text, if you wanted to change the size or the color of the bottom text. The input text, if you want to have the input text a different color or different size. And then the button text. And that's pretty much it. I know this is a pretty ugly looking one, but it's just to show you all the different customizations. So I hope that helps, and that is subscription forms for Beaver Builder.